All right, folks, here we go, music lovers. This you got Bonafide Mike here, YouTube channel. This is episode 6 of Just Two People Talking, and I have the distinct honor of speaking with legendary guitar player Pat Travers.
How are
What
you today, bro?
I'm doing very well.
Super.
Such an accomplished career that you've had. It's like you've probably seen it all, done it all. You've influenced so many guitar players.
Wow.
Everybody knows your music.
Huh.
And this is a great honor for me
Well, thank
since I've been following your career since I was 15. Real quick, I just want to do a quick shout out to Bruce Pilati for helping me
Bruce,
make,
my manager.
yeah,
Bruce,
for
yeah.
letting me make this happen.
He's awesome.
And I want to dedicate this episode to the memory of Peter Mars Cowling,
Oh yeah.
who I saw many times. And you probably know San Antonio concert promoter Greg Wilson, who passed away in January.
Yeah. Did he do the?
He did all your sneaker shows.
Oh yeah, right. Sneakers, right.
He did all that.
Yeah.
So first question is, you have a very distinctive guitar sound and tone, and the way you play. How many guitars do you own, or do you have a plethora of guitars?
It fluctuates. I think right now I have about 12. I've had as many as 20 plus, but you can only play one at a time. And when we're on the road here, I have my Strat, and that's all I bring. Just
Well, let me
one
show that real
guitar.
quick.
Yeah.
There it is, right there.
Custom shop, John Cruz at the Fender Custom Shop made that for me in 2019.
That's
and so I tend to get rid of a few every few years because they're just sitting in closets or under beds, or they don't get played. It's not really worth it. So.
Oh, that's cool. I know that you were in Canada and you moved to England. I know this has been well documented, and you recorded your first album. Now, I read an article that the studio you were recording in, that Queen was there.
Oh, that was the second album that I did, Making Magic. What was the name of that studio? It used to be a church, and they turned it into a studio. And Queen was shooting. They wanted to shoot another video. They had done the Bohemian Rhapsody one, and they wanted to follow it up. So they needed that big space, and they asked if we could let them use the studio for a day, which we did. And actually, I told my manager, I said, well, they have to get me a bottle of Courvoisier Napoleon cognac and a quarter ounce of red Lebanese hash, which they did. So they were pretty cool. And anyway, yeah, it was kind of neat.
Was there any funny Freddie stories there?
Only my car, I was trying to leave, and my car was blocked by this Range Rover. And so I stepped in, and, they're all there, and they've got the cameras, and I'm just waiting for a moment of quiet to say, hey, who owns the Range Rover? Right? So I went, hey, who owns the Range Rover? And Freddie went, oh, that's mine.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, is that where you met Mars? Is
In
that
England, yeah.
So did he join the band?
He was the first guy I met and played with, yeah.
And then who was playing drums at that time?
Well, initially we had Roy Dyke. Well, before that, we had Nicky Heaton, who went on to play with The Clash, but he was only with us for a short time. Then we got Roy Dyke.
Oh, wow.
Then we had Mike Kelly from, can't remember the name of the band. But then we got Nico McBrain, who
Oh, yeah.
was just awesome. And
Yeah,
So
he just retired from Iron Maiden,
he didn't get fired.
or he retired. He says.
He had they pushed him way too hard. They did like 3-hour shows 4 times a week, and on days off he had to travel, and he was like, guys, come on. But he had an incident about a year ago, and it kind of limited some of his playing ability. But he was ready to retire anyway, and he sounds way happier when I talk to him. So,
Well, you've had a lot of people in and out of your band,
great drummers,
like drummers, guitar players.
Yeah.
Do you still keep in touch with Pat Thrall or Jerry Riggs?
Not that often. I see him occasionally. Jerry plays with 38 Special, so occasionally we'll be on a show with them. Pat Thrall is a studio engineer in Las Vegas, so I don't see him that often, but every now and then.
That's cool. But now recently we've lost a lot of great guitar players. And I know that a lot of people don't get their due, or you don't hear much about them. So, do you have any thoughts on the recent one with Rick Derringer?
Well, of course. I knew Rick 40 years. He lived only about 30 minutes from me. And
Oh,
so
wow.
we go out to dinner. I'd invite him over to some friends for parties and stuff, and I loved Rick. He was a huge inspiration on me in a lot of ways, not just guitar, but producing and stuff like that. That really, and I got very much into the studio. I had a lot of input on my albums, and Rick was one of the reasons why.
I met him a couple of times. He was a super nice guy.
Yeah.
The other one you don't hear too much about. It came in as John Sykes.
Well, he wrote a bunch of tunes for Whitesnake, and I never met him, never met him. So, but great guitar player.
He was a pretty nice guy. I met him only once when they did that Thin Lizzy, his version of that.
Yeah.
And he was super cool.
How weird.
Did you do any shows with Gary Moore? Or what?
No, I met Gary a number of times, and we jammed, and he was an incredible player, very impressive. Yeah, he just was.
He had that feel.
Fiery and bluesy and rock and just great energy.
And the other one I know you did a song about was Ronnie Montrose.
Yeah, Ronnie was another huge influence, and not just on guitar, but as a band leader, and we talk on the phone. We had fun, and we did a bunch of shows together too. So
That's awesome.
cool guy.
One of my favorite albums is your Radioactive album.
Really?
From '81. And you know what? For the longest time, I didn't know that New Age Music was a cover.
Yeah.
By Inner Circle.
Inner Circle.
And
I did Bag Boys back.
Yeah, I did not know that. And the whole time I thought, wow, this is pretty innovative. All those effects on there. And then when I heard the original version, I can hear the song. But how did you pick that one? Were you
that much different?
Not really, just with the.
Just because the guitar was dominant. But
So were you a big reggae fan? Because I know on the Crash and Burn you did the Marley tune.
Yeah, I covered a couple of Bob Marley songs. Yeah.
And there's an album that you made, Just a Touch. Now I don't know if you've ever done this song live, but it's one of my favorite of all your songs. is that instrumental "Daydream Your Blues Away."
Oh,
It's very kind of Santana-ish.
yeah, I've forgotten how that even goes. I know the title.
It's a really
I'll have to look it up.
it's very
I
melodic
just
and
can't remember it at all right now, but I remember the title.
when I was listening to it the other day, I'm like, man, this is something off of like one of the Santana albums.
Yeah, well,
And-
I
'cause
was a huge Santana.
But
fan.
it's a great song, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if he's ever played this live.
No,
And that's
I'll
a
have to look that up, refresh my memory.
okay. Well, in closing, then, here's a question I've asked other people that I've interviewed. What's your take on this whole AI thing, where music is not created organically now? It's just done with computers and sending people tracks and samples.
Well, I predicted all of that 20, 30 years ago. You know, I said there'll come a point where you can sing into a microphone here, wash it through the computer, and it'll come out sound like Frank Sinatra on the other end. And that's where we're at. But don't forget that AI only has what already exists. It just grabs stuff it's not creating anything new, just new ways of putting old stuff together. So I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. I have an idea. I have a title for a song, and I think it's a great title, but I can't think of how the song should go. So I'm thinking of maybe trying AI on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that
just to see if it gives me some inspiration. Yeah.
okay. Well, that pretty much sums up my little interview. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes of your time
My
and
pleasure.
talking to us. And what's the best way we can keep up with you? The website.
Oh, we got the Facebook page, and we've got pattravers.com, and yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, thank you, Pat. I appreciate this. Thank you so much, and we'll be looking forward to the show tonight.
Thank you. My
Thank you.
pleasure. We always love coming to San Antonio.
All right. Thank you, Pat.
Cheers.